I want to share with you a new study focusing on the dramatic brain health improvements you can get from GlyNAC. One of the tests showed that after just 8 weeks on the supplement, cognition improved by 42%. About a year ago, the social media were on fire with news about GlyNAC, which is a combination of glycine and N-acetylcysteine, because a research paper showed that it had major anti-aging benefits, including reduced inflammation, higher energy levels, and overall improvement in many variables associated with aging. However, a new study by the same author has focused on the impacts of GlyNAC, specifically on brain health, and the results are absolutely astounding. If you are unfamiliar with GlyNAC, let me tell you first how and why it works. But if you already know about this supplement, scroll ahead to the specific results of this new study and watch to the end where I share natural sources of N-acetylcysteine that you should include in your diet before you consider taking any supplements. Here was the original study. Researchers gave a combination of glycine and N-acetylcysteine to healthy adults aged 65 to 80. They found that GlyNAC lowered oxidative stress and improved mitochondrial function. Mitochondria are the parts of our cells where energy production takes place, so this is a very important result. Better mitochondrial function means more energy. They also found that GlyNAC supplements reduced inflammation, endothelial dysfunction, which is a type of heart disease, and genotoxicity, which is essentially damage to our cells' genetic material. And finally, they found that GlyNAC supplementation improved insulin resistance, muscle strength, exercise capacity, cognition, and body composition. So all in all, an amazing compound for anyone interested in aging as gracefully as possible. But how does it work? What GlyNAC does is help reduce oxidation in our bodies. When there's too much oxidation, our cells develop free radicals. These are molecules that are missing an electron, and they look to grab an electron from other cells, maybe skin cells or blood cells or wherever. This damages those other cells. The Cleveland Clinic says what we want to avoid is free radicals in our body as much as possible, because when they accumulate and start grabbing electrons from other molecules, that leads to cellular damage down to the DNA level, and we see signs of aging and disease. A short list of conditions associated with free radical damage includes cancer, heart disease, aging skin, autoimmune diseases like celiac disease and rheumatoid arthritis, and neurodegenerative diseases like Alzheimer's and Parkinson's. Free radicals occur naturally. They can be created by our metabolic process, and they enter our bodies as well from the environment. And major environmental sources include certain drugs and pesticides, cigarette smoke, industrial solvents, pollution in general, and even UV radiation from the sun. One of our natural defenses against oxidation is glutathione, which is one of the most important antioxidants we have. As we age, our levels of glutathione drop off dramatically. So it makes sense that if we can restore glutathione levels, we can reduce oxidation and experience anti-aging benefits. And that's where supplementation with GlyNAC comes in. According to the authors, taking a combination of glycine and N-acetylcysteine as precursors is better for us than taking glutathione itself. They provide the building blocks for glutathione and let our cells produce the precise amount they need. As this graphic shows, the limiting compounds in the synthesis of glutathione are cysteine and glycine. Further, the authors asserted that taking glutathione directly could lead to too high a level of antioxidants in our system. When antioxidants are too plentiful, you can stifle a subtle oxidation process that's actually required in our cells for cell signaling. So while oxidation is generally bad, a minor amount is required for correct cell behavior. And that's the beauty of GlyNAC and why it had such powerful anti-aging outcomes. And now on to the new study, focusing specifically on brain health. In this research, a team that included the same author as the prior study looked at young versus old mice. They measured cognition and brain performance across a number of metrics. Compared to young mice, the old mice had a lot of cognitive impairment and multiple brain defects. However, GlyNAC supplementation improved and corrected the brain defects and reversed the cognitive decline associated with old age. The team chose to use mice because their brain abnormalities due to age are similar to humans, and the researchers could then conduct biopsies to measure the actual impact of the supplementation. The mice were fed diets including GlyNAC for 8 weeks, and these were the results. Now in all of these slides, blue represents young mice, red represents old mice without GlyNAC supplementation, and green is the old mice with GlyNAC added to their diets. This graph shows the results for basic cognition as measured by the number of seconds to complete a maze. After 8 weeks on GlyNAC, the old mice showed a 42% improvement in the time it took for them to complete the task, and the time they needed almost equaled that of the young mice. This second graph shows cognition is measured by the number of errors the mice made while they were completing the maze. Supplementation with GlyNAC had a 33% improvement, and again the number of errors came close to the number made by the younger mice. The purpose of GlyNAC supplementation is to restore levels of the antioxidant glutathione. This graphic shows concentration of different measures of glutathione in brain tissues. Compared to old mice without GlyNAC, the ones who received the supplement had glutathione concentrations ranging from 156% to 204% higher, and they were nearly at the same levels of the young mice. This graph number 4 shows the level of oxidative stress on brain cells. As we said earlier, oxidative stress is bad, so low levels are good. Compared to the old mice, the oxidative stress in mice fed GlyNAC was 42% lower, and virtually the same as the levels in young mice. And lastly, this graphic shows brain inflammation. You probably are aware that inflammation is bad in any situation, and inflammation of the brain is especially troubling, and in many cases is linked to dementia. Like all the other factors, brain inflammation was markedly better in the older mice who received GlyNAC, and the levels came very close to the levels in the young mice. There are many more factors in the study and many more graphs, and they basically tell the same story, that supplementation with GlyNAC for 8 weeks virtually reversed the deficiencies associated with age-related cognitive decline. The authors concluded that GlyNAC could be a simple and effective nutritional supplement to support brain health. So how much should one take? In one of the human studies conducted by the authors, supplementation for each glycine and N-acetylcysteine was 100 milligrams per kilogram of body weight per day. This means that a 200-pound man would take 9 grams of each daily, and a small 135-pound person would take about 6 grams of each per day. I think a great metric is provided by Brian Johnson, who spends over $2 million a year on his own anti-aging protocol. He weighs 170 pounds and takes 3,600 milligrams of N-acetylcysteine per day, broken into 2 doses. So following his protocol, a 200-pound guy would take 4 grams, and a smaller person might take 2 to 3 grams in a day. It's worth noting that Brian Johnson does not report taking glycine as a supplement, and that could easily be that he already has a high-quality protein diet. Glycine is an amino acid present in almost all protein sources. Based on the type of proteins he eats, he's probably already getting 2 to 3 grams of glycine naturally in his diet. So either take a combined GlyNAC supplement, and there are many available on Amazon, or buy them individually and take the amount you feel are appropriate based on the rest of your diet. In my case, for example, I already consume a high-protein diet, and I take glycine in the form of zinc glycinate and magnesium glycinate, so I'm already taking some glycine. It also seems that you could save money by buying each one separately because pricing on the combined supplement seems high, probably due to the excitement the study caused. As always, our first line of defense should be a healthy diet. And according to this paper, some of the best foods for glutathione, or the enzymes that support glutathione activity in our bodies, include asparagus, avocado, cucumber, green beans, papaya, red pepper, spinach, strawberries, and tomatoes. Of course, we can't always count on a healthy diet, and sometimes the quality of nutrients in our food has been degraded due to soil depletion and modern agricultural practices. As always, please speak with your doctor before taking any supplements. Only he or she can tell you what's best for you. Thank you for watching, and please see my other videos here, all devoted to how you can take the best care of yourself and your loved ones.